everybody. You're listening to Out of the Box podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre, and my co-host, Bradley Powers. And we have special guest today, Gary W. White. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, whoop. My name's Bradley Powers from Esoteric Hours. And I like to introduce me and Jim Andre, because Jim Andre hasn't enjoyed introducing himself. I am a spiritual advisor and a mystic, amongst many other things. And I'd like to introduce Jim Andre, and he is a alien abductee and a quantum healer, and he can do the most amazing of things. And I know we look alike, we look like twins, but I'm Bradley Powers, and Jim Andre is the American Bradley Powers, so some say. And I'd like to introduce Gary W. White. Yes, Gary W. White is finally in the house. We got him here. We had to kidnap him, admittedly. It wasn't willing, but Gary is here. Gary W. White is an alien abductee. Alien contactee. Speaks to many species of different varieties, and is also a general manager of the foundation that we represent. Gary W. White, along with me and Jim Andre, are partners to the course, and we serve the greater good. We hope to supply you with a riveting show. Okay, so please enjoy. And over to you, Gary White. Would you like to add anything?
Well, hey, thank you for having me on the show.
It's our pleasure to have you.
And I'm celebrating my birthday with you two. Very good friends.
Yeah,
happy birthday, Gary. Yep.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Gary W. White. Squash tomatoes and stew. Oh, sorry. That's a different one. Yeah, welcome to the show. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have Vic here. Hi, Vic.
Vic is in the house. Victor the Viking, yeah. Who said Victor the troublemaker? I didn't say that. He's not really a troublemaker. He means well, actually.
He means well.
Vic investigates trouble, if anything.
He's the looking one of the bunch.
Yeah, he's the powerhouse, isn't he, really? Vicky. Anyway, so Gary W. White, you are a alien contactee for sure. Are you an alien abductee? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I am. I've been involved with beings as long back as I can remember, 5 years old. And I don't remember the whole abduction end of the thing. That's not meant for me in this life. My experience is more communication and information, sharing what I've learned from them and helping people.
Well, that's typical in most abductions, that you don't have a total recollection of what transpired. How many different species are you in contact with?
Well, the ones I communicate with are human and they look like us. If they were to walk up to you and start talking to you, sit next to you on a bus, you'd never know the difference unless they want you to know.
So what would you consider them? Nordics, Pleiadians, or?
Well, what they've explained to me, Nordics, Pleiadians, Anunnaki, tall whites are what they call the Sinye, just like Africans, Caucasians, Asians are human. So
during your interactions and communications with them, have they hinted as to any future developments will be as far as they're concerned and how they interact with the human race?
Yes. I've asked them a ton of questions. People have asked them a ton of questions. From what I'm to understand, it's kind of grim. It could be next week, it could be in 50 years, but we're heading towards our civilization. And a lot of people ask, why don't they fix everything? It's not for them to fix what we. Once this runs its course, it's a recycle, reset. Everything will continue on, and the damage to the planet will be. And we'll continue on with our development.
Well, there has to be a great reset, which means there's going to be a lot of chaos. I mean, that's the only way that it can be reset at this point.
They call it a reset, recycle. They say because of the damage we've done to the Earth, it needs to recycle itself. They said this is common. It's happened before. Could be a polar shift, could be a solar flare, but change and
Well, it could be man. It could be man himself as well.
could be man himself. I mean, a lot of people have brought up, is there going to be a nuclear war? From what I've learned, they're not going to allow that to happen. It's
Right?
happened.
Yeah, they've got preventative measures up against that. Yeah.
Yes, apparently there has been one. They've been through it before, and it takes too long for the Earth to recover. This is their genetic warehouse, biological warehouse of genetics. So it's
Yeah.
very
Well, we also have the technology that could destroy the planet. So they got to protect themselves as well, because what we're capable of doing can have a domino effect on the rest of the solar system and the galaxy, which in turn would affect them as well. So that's something that they've got to be aware of and that they have to protect.
and they're aware. I mean, what I've learned from my guides is they basically experience the existence of this planet humanity from beginning to end and what we would consider one lifetime. So they know what's
Everybody talks about nuclear weaponry, but there's another bomb that's even more devastating than that, which is the hydrogen bomb.
yeah, I don't know much about that stuff. Not my cup of tea. I believe you. We've developed things that are not good.
And they keep playing around with that hadron collider there, that atom smashing collider,
Yeah,
and they keep increasing that energy and that power on that experimentation. With every experiment they do, and they have no idea what they're playing with.
gotcha. You're right. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm in contact with the Zeta Reticula, which are the short grays, and they're against them using that hadron collider and experimenting in that manner.
I'm sure.
Yes, allegedly the Hadron Collider has made a connection with another spiritual entity. Some say a devil from Saturn. He claims to be from hell, a conscious-minded entity they've connected with through a simulation of a portal, which is actually manifested into reality. So it just goes to show you, like, we can do the most amazing things scientists can. Although Professor Brian Cox says the Hadron Collider proves that ghosts and spiritual entities do not exist. That goes to show you how much of an atheist he is. I had a lot of respect for that man as well, but like not so much now. Atheists, what do atheists know? Atheism is a religion. Atheism is religion. What do they know? I think they're so wise. They believe, atheists believe what they can smell, see, feel, and touch, but they do not believe what they really unseen. No,
Well,
not like
what
we
you
do.
what you have to understand is there is no one truth. There are many truths, and the closest to the truth that anyone will get to in this lifetime is what each individual perceives as being their truth.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. And like, yeah. Yeah, there's more than one truth. It pays to be open-minded to the concept of all things, because you solely believe in something, you could be denying yourself the truth as well. It's like that. Yes, that pays to be open-minded, because there's for every one truth you find that there's a hidden truth, as well. Yeah, I agree with that.
We debate the laws of man and the laws of God, while overlooking one of the most important laws of all, which is the laws of nature itself.
Yeah, the laws of nature. Yeah, you're very passionate about that, Jim. Right, it's rightfully so. Druids have a belief similar to yours, or the same, actually. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And I'd like to put a shout out. Some people are saying happy birthday to Gary because I announced it in the forum. Yes, name Gary's birthday today. And Jonathan Kipp says, happy birthday to you, Gary. Hi there, Jonathan Kipp. Thank you for joining us. Philly Phil, Mel Lawyer. Hi there, Mel. Vic Makaroff, the Viking, and others are joining us as we speak because they want to know. Gary White, I've heard that name. Who is Gary White? Well, now here you see him here first with Out of the Box podcast. Yes, Gary White is in the house. He's finally joined us. He's come out of his box. And yeah.
Gary White is
So
an ordinary human.
yeah. You know, some say he's a legend too, and but he's being very modest and saying he's an ordinary human being. How many species did you say you actually have connected with? Aliens, extraterrestrials? Would you say, Gary?
Well, I got my guides, which are the Sine, they're the human appearance, and then with the abduction end would be the mantis being. But them I don't communicate with. I've had experiences with them, like a 6 foot, 7 foot, part praying mantis, part man in my closet looking at me, and it's pretty terrifying. And while they're kind of moving like a spider, and they're telling me mentally, we've never hurt you. Like, why are you scared? Well, you're part human, you're part bug. You're pretty intimidating. Yeah. But I don't. Like with my guides, the human ones and their parents, I have constant communication with them. Those are the ones.
Do you have any implants that you're aware of?
I believe I got one right here in my chest. I got this lump in my chest that I got right about the time they made the mental connection with me. I was homeless at the time, and I got this lump in my chest. I've never had it x-rayed. It's just, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Lately, I've been getting a weird feeling that it wants to come out. I've left it there. I figured they put it there for a reason. And I'm a firm believer that if you remove it, they're going to put one back in a place where you can't get to it. You freak my ex-wife out. She goes, I don't like that spot on your chest. There's something that creeps me out about it.
Yeah.
Does it ever change? Does it ever change in size?
Does it what?
Does it ever fluctuate in size?
It has, Jim, but I don't think it's the object that changes size. I think it's fluid that surrounds it.
Probably the way it moves, maybe.
Now, this was when it first appeared. I'm living in the back of the truck when they made contact with me. I was homeless. So I get this lump. I notice this lump on my chest. And I mean, first thing you're thinking, do I got cancer? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going in all kinds of directions. And it did. It got big, like almost the size of a quarter. It's about a little smaller than a pea right now. And then shortly after that, I went through 24 hours of missing time, and I came back, and on my shoulder up here, you can't really see it on this, my left shoulder, back of my left shoulder, I have a very deep scoop scar that's pretty common with abductees and contactees and people involved with these beings. I always kind of figured it was a genetic sample maybe they took from me. And what they told me is they said, this is almost like a motorcycle club will wear a patch on the back of their jacket with different patches to signify their workings within the club. They said that's what this is. It's like a club. Where it's at and how deep it is how deeply involved you're with them.
Yeah.
About the whole thing. I've got
over. It's like being branded. Yeah.
Like being branded almost. I've got over 100 scars on my body, mostly my right leg. I got one on my left shin that's a face. And I just wake up with these, go to sleep, wake up, and they're there. No scab, no blood. Nothing.
Jim, would you like to show Gary your implant on your hand? Is it bright enough to show on screen? I don't know if you can see that. It is dark where Jim is. On his hand is an implant.
On the inside palm?
Yeah.
You know, Jim, I've wondered if I have one. There's a weird, I've tripped on it before. And it's another one that changes in size. I've wondered an tendon or an implant on the palm of my hand.
Okay. Yes, Vic Makaroff. Sorry, what was you saying, Gary? Finish what you're saying.
Between my thumb and my forefinger.
Okay. Yeah, Vic Makaroff says Brian Cox. I will use this word. I don't swear. Brian Cox wouldn't know if his arse was on fire. Says Vic Makaroff. Like, you know, I do agree with you. Actually, he's an atheist. I mean, like a professor, you know, of science. Yeah. You'd think he would know, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm not a professor, and like it's like I know more than he does when it comes to spiritual entities. I've had a life of quantum mysticism. I've experienced many forms of spiritual entities, like beyond human comprehension. Some of what I've experienced. You have had a similar life, Gary, haven't you? How long have you been entertaining aliens, extraterrestrials, contacting them? For a long time, isn't it?
Well, consciously knowing who and what's going on for about 35 years. But in
Wow.
I'm back to my child since I was a little kid, like in school. I didn't do good in school because I had so much going on in my head. I'm sitting in school and looking at the kid next to me, and I'm getting these cartoon images about a comedy scenario of his life outside of school. And it completely distracted me from school. I was a CDF student. So in hindsight, when I was a kid, I thought it was normal. I thought everybody through this, and I believe them. As an adult, I will go through hard. I've had a hard life, so I'll be going through some bad experience, and they will make me laugh. Very, very funny, and they will send me and show me these cartoons and scenarios about people and things going on in life, and yeah. So yeah,
I have a
it goes
question. Was you, sorry to interrupt, Gary, was you a voice hearer when you was at school?
No, they were images.
Images, okay.
And when they made the breakthrough with me, it was a definite, distinct voice. They actually spoke through me. But over time, it's kind of calmed. It's the voice now is very subtle. And a lot of the information they give me now is like a panoramic picture. I guess some people call it download. Like I was watching one night, and if you can imagine having an ability where you're reading a book or you're watching a show and they will chime in on this is reality or this is not quite real, this is where it's off, this is where we're incorrect, they'll feed in to something and give me information. So I'm watching a show on dinosaurs, and they showed me a big panoramic picture that there was humans on this planet before the Jurassic period. This whole dinosaur thing was about the development of DNA for what's considered reptilians. They developed
Yes, very good. Yeah.
now in order for the planet that they're using this DNA on, they basically need to run the Darwinism, evolution. Okay. So this had to run in real time to develop this. Once it ran in real time, they seen it was successful. They have their DNA. It switched right back to the human development, which is why there's a missing link. And this is like a panoramic picture. They didn't say this word from word. It's like a vision, and it's like a download of knowledge. How about that?
Well, yeah, I like the way you're thinking. You are right. The prehistoric animals were like they were reptilian pets. If trained from young, you could train a prehistoric animal to actually, like a dog, be your best friend. Also, not just that, they were also ideal for hunting as well and for food. But yeah, you are right. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. Philly Phil would like to add, when we was talking about the Hadron Collider, he'd like to say the only way the Hydrogen Collider, the Hadron Collider, could possibly cause any damage whatsoever is if they tried to split the atom of dark matter. And he says that will never be allowed. So we're good, in his opinion. Thank you for sharing that, Philly Phil. Mel Lawyer says, I believe there's many types of humans here. Our souls live on and on. That's a fair point, Mel Lawyer. Thank you for sharing that. And Yeah, Heaven Cash Money says, "Hi there, bearded gang. Love and miss you all." Yes, because we are the beards, basically, and like we suggest everybody grow a goatee beard. That's what we're actually suggesting. And like then you could all be in our gang of the Brotherhood. Hi there, Marion Clark from Ghost House Paranormal. Marion Clark says, "Hello, my handsome men." I think she's talking about all three of us, and not just me. But like, yeah, thank you for that, Marion Clark. Yes, I guess we are handsome men when you look upon it like that. Yeah, I've never really thought about it, you know. And Chris Gibbons says, "Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Chris Gibbons." Jonathan keeps calling us the Beardies crew. And David Wilkes says, "It's great timing to actually join the show at near the beginning." So thank you, everybody, for your contributions in the forum. Gary White is in the house, alien abductee and general manager of the foundation that we are a part of. We are partisans to the cause and we serve the greater good. And like, yeah, and who is the greater good? I'll tell you who it is. We serve the greater good, and the greater good is whatever you want it to be. That's what I reckon. And like, yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us.
I'm not seeing half them comments. I don't know why.
Well, basically, Jim, I'm connected. That's what it really is. I'm connected, and like I've got access to it in front of me right now. And someone says, yeah, the reason why I've been connected to spiritual entities all my life is because I'm Big Daddy, and that's right. I am Big Daddy. Yeah, I go along with that. You know? And someone, I've got a Facebook user here, but I can't actually see who it is, says, "I've come across a theory where the Draconians grabbed the raptors of the time and manipulated their DNA, and it goes on that from them they created these reptilians." Is there any truth to that hypothesis, Gary W. White? That, wow, reptilians were created from the raptors? That's a very good theory. And the question is to Gary W. White, do you believe there's any theory, hypothesis to this theory?
Well, what I've learned, and all I do is share what they've shared with me, is that we talk about hybrids. Now, there's these couple types of beings. You got the human in appearance beings. You have the bug-headed, typical alien-looking beings. The alien-looking beings are developing the physical bodies and all. The human-looking beings are the orchestrators, where these genetics are being used. They've said that the reptilians are a hybrid of both of these, and they basically run their own show of developing the physical and where the genetics are being used on what planet, which solar system. They've basically told me that the planet was developed as a biological genetic warehouse, developmental warehouse. So this is where they're developing genetics. This is why we have all the abductions and all of this going on. This is like a host planet. The genetics are being used throughout the multiverse and different areas. So they're not coming here to really study us. They're taking genetics from here and using them elsewhere. I don't know if that answers the question asked, but this is the explanation they've given me.
Yeah, and a very good answer as well. Thank you for sharing that, Gary.
It's all about diversity.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's all about diversity.
Diversity. And like I embrace diversity from all genders as well. LGBTQ, I know that's not actually extraterrestrials, although like I extraterrestrials are diversity. I don't know really. Yeah, but like I embrace all diversity. Yeah, in fact, the reason why we're so popular, me and Jim and you, Gary, is we're diverse. Yeah, and David Wilkes says he was in a dream after his abduction. Yeah, he was Moses in a dream after his abduction. Wow, Moses! Wow, astonishing. That's amazing. That is. And like, isn't Moses the one that was born with big eyes? Quite a tall fellow, I believe, with big eyes. Lived for a long time as well, 900 years. Am I getting that right, or am I mixing it up with something else? I'm not sure actually. Yeah, so you know, like, yeah, but he wasn't actually human as such, was Moses. I don't think so. I'm sure I got the right guy. Yes, and the great flood, that was Moses as well, wasn't it? No, that was God did that. Yeah, Moses was with the no, I know I'm getting mixed up with Noah. God blimey. Terrible of me getting mixed up.
Moses parted the Red Sea, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
I'm
right,
wondering
yeah.
if that dream could possibly be a connection to a past life or something that this person David went through.
Yeah, 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 I agree with that. Yeah.
Or
David
if,
Wilkes was there at the river. Yeah.
or if history repeats itself, it could be a future life.
It very well be. Say history does
Yeah,
repeat itself.
Jonathan Kipp says Moses parted the sea, the Red Sea. Although some say it's a mistranslation. He didn't actually part the Red Sea. He parted the Sea of Reeds, which is not as huge, more shallower, not as huge, and it's more feasible that he did part the Sea of Reeds using his long staff. And I part the Sea of Reeds, and it opened up like it did. Although there has been evidence of a gigantic wheel was found at the seabed of the Red Sea, and it's impossible that it got there. So that also validates the fact that it could have been the Red Sea. So was it the Red Sea or the Sea of Reeds? We don't really know, do we? I just thought I'd add that concept that there's two alternative views. And
Yeah.
yes, so thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
My opinion, yeah, I'm not all that knowledgeable on the Bible. I'm a Buddhist. Not my cup of tea, but these stories had to have originated something. I think people may have changed the stories along the way, but they had to have originated somewhere. You know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I agree with that. And Vic would like to say, so did Napoleon and his army, when crossing the Red Sea, when invaded Egypt at the time? Yeah, they crossed the Red Sea, yeah. Well, they had plenty of frigates, didn't they? So I reckon that's how they crossed the Red Sea, for using their frigates, although some would debate that as well. Everything we say is debatable on this show, to be honest with you. Although, like, well, it is debatable everything we say. Although, like, our spiritual connections with extraterrestrials, well, that's debatable. Although we're speaking from experiences when we actually say that. And like, please excuse me, I'm going to pass the mic over to Jim because he's sitting there pretty quiet because it's sucker fag time. Because Jim Andre, he promotes smoker cigarettes, and we like
that's for you, not me.
Yeah. You can't beat sucking.
In the United States, that takes on a different meaning.
Yeah, I don't use that term.
No,
yeah,
Jim.
Sucking fags. What's wrong with sucking fag? Anyway,
well, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love teasing. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah, he's saying David Wilson saying it was no. Yeah, he parted the sea. Yeah. Daryl Milbo, thank you for joining us, Daryl. He says, I'm a soldier in the aliens army. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. David Wilkes says he's been saved many times in this life. Okay. And David Wilkes says, you guys are great. Thank you very much for saying that, David. You know, we like to hear, some support and updates on
we try.
That's very kind of you.
I want to say something really quick, David. They've saved my life many times to the point where I got an ongoing joke that I got the lives of a pregnant cat. They've saved. I've survived COVID 3 times. It's 60 years old. With
Gary, don't do this to us live on show. Oh, you're back, Gary. Sorry, you there, Gary? Can you hear us?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Gary. We can't hear you.
Gary, is it possible to go out and come back in again? Oh dear,
we can't hear you. Lost your audio.
Yeah, what a shame.
We lost your audio. Can't hear you.
We're halfway through the show as well. No, Gary, we can't mime the rest of the show. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Go out and come back in again.
Yeah, yeah. So let's go back. Mel Lawyer says smoking fags. Okay, smoking fags. I say sucking fags, but yeah, you say smoking fags. I suppose that's a different concept, isn't it? Really? Yeah, sounds different in other countries. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Says Don Frankie. Have a cash money. While we wait for our guest to return, Kefra,
I
have a
just
cash money. Says, go on.
I just kicked him, so when he gets back in, he'll probably be reset.
Yeah, good idea, Jim. That's it. Kick him out. Kick out the guest. Yeah, why not? Like, Heather Cash Money says, what kind of others is the beings that appear human? Can cloak merge into human, shapeshift, also human use? Also have human suits. Those are alive as well. Totally agree with you, Heather Cash Money. Nordics are like humans, Pleiadians, Arcturians. There are quite a variety of species of interdimensional, extraterrestrial, multi-dimensional beings that can actually appear as human beings. And yes, there are many species of interdimensional, multi-dimensional extraterrestrials that can actually shape shift, as well as reptilians can shape shift into a human form, and they also, some species have a cloaking device which enables them to actually appear as humans, because our eyes only see 1, 2, 3% of the spectrum. Don't forget, we can't see everything.
Yeah,
But
some
like,
of them have the ability to shapeshift. Gary, can you hear us?
Gary was there a minute ago. Yeah.
I know.
Oh, God,
I guess he must be having a problem with his connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear us? Can't hear you.
Oh my God. Is his mic working? I don't know. This is so extraordinary. Typical, a Facebook glitch. A Facebook glitch. As always, we are normally hit with technical errors because we're raw, we're rare. What I was going to say, yeah, so there's your answer. Heather Cash Money, there are many species that can, they appear as human, they can shapeshift, they have cloaking devices, and also someone says they use holograms. Yeah, I forget to mention that, but that's a very good point, Mel Lawyer. Mel Lawyer, we'd like you to come on the show maybe next week, if that's possible, because like you are an esoteric intellect and we'd like to have you on the show. Okay. And Mel Lawyer says greys. What do you think about that, Jim? Can greys shapeshift?
I don't believe they can shapeshift. I believe what they are is just clones of each other. They're emotionless. They're emotionless. They feel no emotion. They're more like scouts, you know.
Yeah.
That are there for a reason, but
yeah, I don't believe they can shapeshift either, to be honest with you. And they're not empathic. I mean, they kidnapped you, Jim. You know what I mean? Tattooed your arm, stole you for 6 hours. That's kidnapping, really. But like, you know, you're happy with them, so like, I'm not going to complain.
Well, it wasn't a negative experience. Let's put it that way.
No, I agree with that actually. But when you look at it like that, yeah, you know, it wasn't negative. No, I'd say it wasn't. I mean, look at what you can do, and look at what you have done for people. You know, and like it's not like you wasted the experience.
No, I know. I guess Gary's having a hard time getting back in.
Oh, this is such a shame. What a shame indeed. And
first half hour went glitchless. Now we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, at least we're still here. Brothers in arms, Jim, all the way through to the end. Daryl Milborough says, I know that there is insect and human hybrid soldiers. Thank you for sharing that, Daryl. And Mel Lawyer says he's uncovered many here that look like us, but I've been able to see who's really inside. Reminds me of that film Lady Live, when he puts those black sunglasses on and he can see who their real identity. Yeah, I think I like that film very much. Made in the 80s as well. They Live. I suggest if you haven't watched the film They Live, check it out. Made in the 1980s, a very good reflection of how life is today. and they knew that in the 1980s. And Chris Gibbons says some reptilians use a holographic cloaking device. Thank you for that, Chris Gibbons. You're absolutely right. And yeah, Mel Lawyer says if he can come on the show, he will show us what he has found. And also, Chris Gibbons has raised another point, which I don't mention. They also use mass hypnosis, so we can't see them. They use mass hypnosis, so we can't see them. Very good point. Hi there, Donny Lothridge. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah.
Gary is trying to get back in, but it says his devices are not connected. I don't know if he knows how to go to settings to rectify that.
Yeah. You've got to go right back to Messenger now to get back in. You need to start again at Messenger, basically. Reverse, 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 then go to Messenger and click on the link again, Gary, if you can hear me. Jonathan Kipp says, yeah, They Live is a classic film. Yes, absolutely. And Donny Lothridge is watching. Thank you for joining us, Donny. Yeah, They Live is a classic film made in 1980. And Donny Lothridge says, hello, Jim and Bradley. Hey, Donny Lothridge is speaking to me and you, Jim. Hey, thank you. You know, we've been a little bit worried. We actually thought, have you gone dark on us at one point? You know, or has Jim offended you? I actually thought that, but obviously we're wrong. He hasn't. No one has. You just felt like taking some time out from us. We understand that. You know, we're not everyone's cup of tea, are we, Jim? We recognise that. And Chris Gibbons said it's like a spell. Yeah, hypnosis is like a spell. And yeah, David Wilkes says, yeah, They Live is a top film. And Mel Lawyer says, our phones expose them. And Heather Cash Money says, yes, mass hypnosis and sedation. That's what. And Chris Gibbons says he broke the spell once. And like, we're still waiting for our guest to return. I hope he heard me. Go to Messenger, start again. That's my advice. Jim, anything you'd like to add? Jim? Anything you'd like to add?
I just messaged him in Messenger,
Okay,
explaining to him that I couldn't bring him on because it says he has to connect his devices in the settings.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. Mel Lawyer says we might need to do a 2 to 3 hour show, Jim, to have him on there. 2 to 3 hours, man. Well, I'll let you into a secret. Me, Jim Andre, Cassidy Lightwing, we actually broadcasted a show 4.5 hours long. We managed to hold an audience encapsulated by our very words, me, Cassidy, and Jim Andre, for 4.5 hours, and they wanted more. They didn't want us to go. Yeah, we done really well, didn't we, Jim? Remember that?
Does he have that much information?
Well, he seems to think he does on a 2 to 3 hour show. And David Wilkes says, you meant a gentleman. Thank you for sharing that with us, David. You know, it's very good to hear that, actually. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we strive to be gentlemen. Yeah, we do, actually. Yeah. God, dear. You feel free to join in at any time, Jim. I mean, it's both our shows. You know what I mean? But I don't mind doing all the talking. I am a wordsmith. You know,
no, I'm just
wondering.
Well, I try to get a word in edgewise. You keep talking over me, so you might as well just keep.
No, I don't mean to do that, Jim. Like, Jim, you feel free to interact anytime you like. You know, basically. Yeah, Jim. No, please chat with me. I'll shut up.
You want to be the show? You go for it.
No, not at all, Jim. You feel free. I'll shut up for 10 minutes or more if you want. Not a problem. That's not a problem.
I'm just wondering what happened to Gary White.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, Dave Wilkes says, go ahead, Jim. Yeah. Donny Lothridge said there's nothing wrong. We haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, please about that, Donny. Yeah. Over to you, Jim.
Well, there's nothing to say, really.
Well, I'm just reading. You know what I'm doing, Jim? I'm reading from the forum. That's what I'm doing.
I can't even do that because I'm not getting half of the comments. So,
yeah, that's not nothing to do with me, Jim. It's not my fault. You know, I'm just using different devices. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't understand that. Another Facebook glitch, isn't it? But no, it's not a Facebook glitch.
I'm very limited on the comments that are coming through. I've only got like maybe 8 comments here. That's it.
Yeah, and I got like this streaming through it, Jim. So, yeah, they're coming through. Daryl Milborough says, thank you so much for doing this show. He's really appreciating it. And Chris Gibbons says, They Live as a 1996 movie. Seriously, I thought it was the 1980s, 1996. And
Yeah,
also,
that was with that wrestler there. What was his name that starred in that movie?
I don't know, Kim. Don't know.
Can't think of his name. Roddy Piper, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well done. Yeah, Roddy McDonald Piper. Oh, I don't know. It was a Roddy something.
Roddy Piper, I believe his name was.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Roddy, Jonathan Kipp, thank you for that. He's saying Roddy Rowdy Piper.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
See, I got Facebook users saying hi, Jim and Bradley, but I have no idea who it is. It says Facebook user.
Now see what you're getting here in the forum. I'm not getting any of that. I'm getting it off
Yeah,
the
there's something wrong with the system.
Yeah, I might be getting it off my timeline, maybe. And you're getting it from
every comment that comes through on my end, it says Facebook user, except for one that came through as Vic Makarov.
Yeah, like Sue said, hi Jim and Bradley. Hi there, Facebook user.
And this is what Vic has to say. LOL.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for finding us amusing, Vic. Yeah.
Okay, Facebook user says, hi, Jim. Hello. I have no idea who you are. It's labeled as Facebook user.
Yeah. Oh, well, a lot. What a shame about our guests. We was really enjoying that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, the first half hour went so smooth. I don't know what happened.
We'll have to have him back. Yeah. God, I can't see how many. I've shared the show loads, Jim. I've been sharing the show loads.
Comments will appear
here.
Oh,
shush.
Top comment.
Oh, shut up. Go away. Thank you. Sorry about that. That's my computer bitch. You know, everybody's got a computer bitch. She talks for me. Mel Lawyer says it's definitely kind of like that. If you use an iPhone like live photo feature, it's the photo speed glitches. You capture the hybrid. It's the photo speed glitches. Wow. Well, that's interesting.
There's always a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah. And that tomorrow I can promote me and Jim Andre and Professor Dedrick Hilton will be appearing on Unseen Realms at 7 p.m. Eastern time, which could be 6 p.m. Central time, I believe, which is 12 a.m. GMT UK time, 12 a.m. Yes, and we'll be discussing the Matrix. Is the Matrix an extraterrestrial, multidimensional, interdimensional matrix? Who controls the matrix? Is it God's matrix? You know, that's what me, Jim, and Professor Dedrick Hilton will be discussing. And Dedrick Hilton is not just a professor, he's also a doctor of parapsychology, member of MUFON, amongst many other things. Well, I won't mention everything that he is.
Vic Makarov says maybe Gary W. White guides took offense to this podcast and disconnected him.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, thank you for your satire humor, Vic. Yeah, man, it's very possible, you know. we do generate a lot of paranormal activity on some of our shows, don't we, Jim? You know,
We do, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely a yes. So what we rocking and rolling on? We got like 13 minutes left of the show. Please feel free to continue contributing in the forum. I am picking
Yeah.
up some of what is being said.
Or if there's any questions, we'll be glad to answer them.
Yeah. Jonathan Kipp says, regarding tomorrow's show, Unseen Realms, about the Matrix, he says, that's a be interesting. Yes, you'll be able to find us on my timeline, Jim's timeline. Yeah, we'll be around, like, yeah, just like, and like in the Esoteric Family Messenger groups, we'll be there. The link will be there as well. Krista Gibbons says angels and demons could control the Matrix. No, he says angels and demons do control the Matrix. I have never heard that theory before. Angels and demons control the Matrix. Well, if you're saying angels are messengers of God. Therefore, are you saying it's God's Matrix? That's feasible. Angels, they are messages from God. What do they actually control? They are attached to us. We've all got angels, I believe. Whether we recognise this or get to see them in our lifetimes is another matter for debate. We don't. Not everyone sees their angels. I've seen angels on 4 separate occasions, so I've been blessed. So to add further, Mel Lawyer said he has a few photos where the Matrix is visible in the sky. Wow, that's astonishing, Mel. We'd love to see them, wouldn't we, Jim, on the show? Yeah, share those with us. The Matrix is visible in the sky. And post them in Jim's group and my group as well. For those of you who don't know, Jim's got a group called the Alien Truth Connection Network, and that is 116,000 members. Please, and it's a private group, may I add. So whatever you post into Jim's group is private. Please message Jim if you want to join that group. And I've got the extraterrestrials, alien abductees. I've got the extraterrestrials, alien contactees, abductees, and believers group. That's got over 150,000 members. Please feel free. That's a public group. Please feel free to add into that group. And please join. You're all welcome. And yes, Jonathan Kipp says, what's happened to Gary W. White? Have they pulled him out of the show? Yeah, where's our guest? Has he been abducted? There,
Well,
watch next week.
He sent me a message saying that he did it in settings, but I don't even see him in the studio, so I don't understand what's going on. And I sent him the link again to rejoin, but I don't see him.
Daryl Milborough, which I believe we should have you on the show. He's been on Esoteric Hours before. Daryl Milborough, he says he's still the best alien hunter and he has the best photo evidence to back it. And I will validate, Daryl, your words are true. Are the best photographic evidence I've ever seen of other intelligent life forms. It's in your photographs, Daryl Milborough. So thank you for joining in this chat room. Thanks for joining our show. And yeah, we'd love to have you on the show, me and Jim. Jim would be fascinated by what photographs you have.
In what area did he get them photographs from?
Daryl Milborough, Jim, Andre's asking you a question. What area did you get those photographs from? Because I've forgotten, to be honest with you. Mel Lawyer says he accepts Daryl's challenge. Daryl says he's the best alien hunter, and Mel Lawyer believes he has the best photo evidence to back it, just like Daryl is saying. So that'd be interesting to see. Yeah, and like David Wilkes says, awakened visual sky phenomenon. Heather Cash Money says, no, they don't. Angels and demons do not have control of the Matrix. I'm going to go along. I support Heather, actually. I've never seen any evidence suggest that angels and demons control the Matrix. I don't actually pretty
well,
embrace that.
if God is the creator of all things and we're made in God's image, right? God must be all things, which is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I don't believe there's any separation. So could the Matrix be God at conflict within himself? Just like we have conflicts, experience conflicts within ourselves.
Yeah. Does God have conflict with himself? That's a good question, Jim. Is God schizophrenic? You know, well, like that's debatable. Is the Old Testament and the New Testament written about two gods or just the one?
Well, throughout history, there's been thousands of gods worshipped, so that would lead to the question: if there is a God, one God, will the real God please stand up?
Yeah, I like it when you say that. Big
would say-
Macross. Sorry.
I would say that the Matrix is probably run more by nature itself than anything.
Vic Macross says the Matrix, from my understanding, is an imposition put on humanity by the reptilians. The reptilians? Right, okay. Thank you for sharing that, Vic. Yeah, and that's a theory that's not impossible. I'll go along with that. Heather Cash Money says others control the Matrix. Thank you for sharing that. Some say the praying mantis beings are the overlords that control the Akashic Records library. And we sign the Book of Life in the Akashic Records library. We sign the Book of Life before we actually enter the womb, although everything is debatable. That's what who would say something like that? Channelers would say that. A channeler. Some channelers believe that. Chris Gibbons says angels try to make things better and good. Yeah, thank you for sharing it. And Jonathan Kip says, yeah, maybe the higher beings have a link into this reality somehow. Christopher Gibbons says, demons try and make you feel bad and ruin you things. Thank you for sharing that, Chris. You're a very valid point, and it's true, they do. Although I've encountered that there's good and bad in all, and some devils and demons are not exactly as evil as portrayed by Christianity. Although I speak from experience, you know, that's why I know this. But not all demons are bad. Although, in general, demons do try and make you feel bad and ruin things. Demons that vibrate on a low vibrational frequency despise mankind, and there's nothing you can do for them. They do wish to, wreck your life, create chaos in the life of innocent people. Jim, have you ever encountered demons or demons in themselves?
I'm contacting Gary right now.
Okay, there's 6 minutes left. Yeah.
He's claiming that he's clicking on the link, but it won't let him back in. I even resent him the link, so I don't understand what's going
on. Today is Gary White's birthday, everybody. He's our guest, a very fascinating person to know and to listen to. You can find him in the extraterrestrial group and in Jim's group. He posts a lot of posts about his encounters with other intelligent life beings. Yes, Daryl, I will look at your Facebook page. Thank you for sharing that. Chris Gibbons says some of the praying mantis are in angelic realms. Are in the angelic realms. Thank you for sharing that. I haven't heard that theory, but like anything is possible. Mel Lawyer says, I know from my own experience, they block and mess with the Wi-Fi. Demons that vibrate on a low vibrational frequency do that. We got 5 minutes. Quite, and like, yeah, some of the comments are still coming through. I know what you're saying. Vic Macross says, yes, he agrees. The insectoids are the holders of the Akashic records. Thank you for sharing that, Vic. Yeah, I believe that too. From channelers, and I've heard it a few times. And Vic says Gary needs to hold on to the link, and then it will give him the option to open a link in Safari. Vic, from what we understand, Safari struggles to present the show as a search engine. Although, thank you for sharing that. It might be possible that it will work, but I haven't heard a case of anyone using Safari successfully. 4 minutes left. Yes, David Wilkes says God talked to me. Yeah, well, I have spoken to people who do claim God has spoken to them. You know, David Wilkes says we are from Nibiru. Mel Lawyer says, I was told this is bigger than you know. You need to calm down. Oh, calm down. Oh, calm down. I haven't got started yet. This is bigger than you know. What I've discovered, Mel, is the more you know, the more you realise you don't know. How about that for a theory? Well, that's the truth, actually.
Hey, he's back.
I had to
Oh.
totally reboot my phone, and I'm in a different area in my house, so you may not see me very well now.
Well, we can hear
Gary,
you. All right.
Yes.
And Gary has got a veil over him, a black dark veil, so we can't see him. And thank you for joining us. We can extend the show, Jim, if you want to. It's up to you.
Oh, it's up to you guys.
Like with Gary's back, we could do another 15 minutes or half hour. It's up to you, Jim. I don't mind. And it's up to Gary as well. How
Up to you guys. Up to Gary, I guess. I can't.
Yeah, up to you,
Can't
Gary.
see him at
Yeah,
all now.
I'm
Oh,
fine.
there he is.
You know.
Kind of here in the dark. I'm in a different area. Which, yeah. This technology is great. You can communicate around the world with people in different languages, but when it doesn't want to work, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're at the mercy of glitches here and there.
Yeah, glitches. Yeah. And we know a lot about glitches, don't we, Jim? Yeah.
Yep.
Mel Lawyer says he has known unknown flying creatures in his photos. Or I wonder if any of them were dragons. I've got a couple of photos of dragons in the air, actually. Although you could say they're photoshopped. Although I think they are genuine. So, yeah. Well, dragons are real. That's why I say that. From my experience. Oh, Gary, there's a question for you. Are dragons real, in your opinion?
In my opinion, yeah. I've never had an experience with one, but yeah, everything that I've been through, who am I to say that something does not exist and somebody has not experienced it?
I was married to a dragon, believe it or not, for 30 years. So I said that because
Must have been quite scaly.
Yeah. Excuse my humour. Yeah. Oh, welcome back, Gary. Gary's in the chair. He's in the hot spot. Time to grill him. We got extended time. What I was going to say is, in the southwest of England, in the ground is petrified dragon scales, and giants when they fell and landed on the earth, lying down. You can actually and it happens with trees as well. Sequoia trees, the wood turned to petrified clay. It embraced the earth, encrustulated by the earth. Sequoia trees turned to petrified clay, such as the Devil's Tower. I don't know what your thoughts are on the Devil's Tower, Jim. The Devil's Tower is a sequoia tree, gigantic tree, over 5,000 years old at the time when it was living. But some say it's not. It's a dormant volcano. What do you think, guys?
I have no idea.
What do you think, Gary? Is it a tree? Oh, God.
Oh, now he's gone again.
Oh, blimey. Well, actually, it's a tree.
Yeah, I think we might as well end the show. It's at the top of the hour anyway. So.
Okay, Jim. All right, we'll have Gary back again. Thank you, everybody, for your contribution. It's been a pleasure having you near us. Sorry you didn't get to talk much, Jim. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, let's say and extend the show, but like with Gary, we've lost Gary. Happy birthday, Gary, from Heather Cash Money. Everyone wants to hear the show more, says Jonathan Kipp. Jonathan Kipp, thank you for that. Donnie Loffridge says, happy birthday, Gary. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Over to you, Jim Andre.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining in, interacting with us, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Thank you.
The paranormal, UFOs, extraterrestrial,